Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Terrence Cheng, and I am the president of the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities System. It is my great pleasure and honor to be here today to continue what has become a tradition, the start of the academic year address. Thank you to Dr. Stephen Minkler, CEO of Middlesex Community College, and the team here at the Center for New Media. I appreciate the work you've done for today's event, but I also recognize everything you do to prepare our students for exciting careers with our state's most prominent companies. This is a great example of what our public colleges and universities have to offer. I joined CSCU on July 2nd, and so I hope you will get to know me as I share some of my personal story, update you on what the system has been working on, and also present what I see ahead this coming year and beyond. But before I do that, I want to take a moment to recognize that on Saturday, our nation will acknowledge the 20th anniversary of September 11th. It is a sad, somber day, no doubt, one that is filled with reflection and many emotions. 9/11 has great personal meaning to me, as I know it does for so many across Connecticut and around the country. I was living and working in Manhattan at the time, and I remember the panic of not knowing if our friends and loved ones who worked at the Trade Center were getting out. I remember frantic phone calls, the palpable fear, the terror of feeling helpless. And in the days to follow, as what happened became clearer, I remember feeling the horrible anger and the pain of a deep, deep wound, mourning for thousands, and understanding that nothing would ever be the same again. But as the weeks and months went by, I also remember resilience. I remember unity and empathy and compassion across the city and across the country, knowing that this blow had been struck not against one people or one city or one region of the land. It had been struck against us all, and that only together would we find a way to overcome. 20 years later, we continue to find our way, and it is not easy. I know that many of our students and employees have served in combat since 9/11. Many more have had family members serve. Particularly for those who have connections to Afghanistan, this is an especially difficult time. There are no sweeping or healing words that I or any of us can offer. So let me simply say, thank you. We recognize your sacrifice. Your lives and your work transcend the honor and respect that we offer. Another one of the great challenges of our lives has been the COVID-19 pandemic. So many of our friends and loved ones have gotten sick and even passed. And the threat is not over, so we must continue to do everything we can to protect ourselves and others. We all know how hard it has been to adapt and adjust on our campuses. The faculty who converted their classes online, and the staff who switched their services and continued supporting students. The administrators who worked 24/7 on everything from facilities and infrastructure to technology and policy and coordinating support. We rose to the challenge together and found a way to overcome. Entering our second full year of pandemic teaching and learning, our top priority continues to be keeping our students and employees as safe and healthy as possible while providing the best on-ground learning experience. Yes, this has been difficult, but I hope that our ability to come back this fall in person proves that it has been worth it. We are able to come back because people across the system are getting vaccinated and staying healthy. At the community colleges, more than 80% of students who have reported have received at least one dose. At the universities, that number is approximately 90%. For those who have not done so yet, our employees and our students, Now is the time to get your vaccine. Vaccines are safe and effective, and there is no reason to hold out. In the coming weeks, we will look at ways to eliminate or drastically reduce non-medical exemptions, and we will continue to make shots widely available on every campus. As our vaccination numbers rise and the Delta variant subsides, we hope to relax mitigation measures for vaccinated individuals and stabilize our new normal. I say new normal because the world has changed, and our work in this new normal has only begun. COVID has done great damage to our system, and especially to our students. We know the pandemic had an outsized effect on our students, many who work on the front lines of healthcare, food service, and childcare. Folks who have families and do everything they can to make higher education a priority in their lives. To that end, we have provided CSCU students more than $167 million in federal funding since the pandemic began to help them financially so they can continue their educational journeys. We have also created a new mental health support service through our partnership with Timely MD. We continue to offer many classes online for those who want and need that flexibility, and we continue to learn from our COVID experience so we can improve what we do and how we do it in the classroom, in student support, and in day-to-day campus life. Another high priority for our system is the continued work of creating a diverse, equitable, and inclusive environment across all our campuses. As I mentioned before, I'm originally a New Yorker, bred but not born. I was born in Taipei, Taiwan, and I came to the U.S. when I was a toddler. My family had a good life in Taiwan, but they chose to come to America for me. When they got here, my mother waited tables. My father stocked grocery store shelves and pumped gas. We didn't have a lot of money, so they worked harder. Some things were possible for them. Some things, systemically, were not. Through the years, they found ways to achieve balance and stability, which I have benefited from my whole life. I think this is a story that many of you recognize, and it is a big part of why I came to CSCU. In many of our students, I see myself. Students who will do whatever they can to succeed, who know that education is their ticket to improving their lives. But as a system, even though we have tens of thousands of diverse and hardworking students and thousands of committed faculty and staff, CSCU and our campuses, like society, are far from perfect. Many of the structures and processes, rules and sensibilities through which we make decisions and take action must be analyzed and improved to become more fair-minded, inclusive, and equitable for all people. To help in this work, I have charged an Equity Council for CSCU that will have representation from across the system. The Equity Council will report directly to me and will coordinate and partner with academic affairs, student affairs, human resources, community organizations, and others. The Council will honestly and soberly assess our practices while also creating synergy between the many programs and activities already happening across CSCU. Our power and strength will be in our numbers. Like this, we will disrupt and dismantle systemic inequities and injustices that affect so many. Throughout the fall, I will go to every CSCU campus for extended visits. I look forward to listening and learning, to understanding not just where we are, but how we got here. I want to hear people's ideas and concerns and tackle challenges and create solutions together. Because we are all on the same team and we want the same things: healthy, safe, and successful campuses where faculty, staff, and students can flourish. We won't always see eye to eye, but I do believe that our respectful, professional, and collegial engagement will yield new paradigms that will benefit us all. The CSCU presidents and I have already begun talking about strategic priorities, academic programs and working with faculty to advance pedagogy and our curriculum, enrollment and budget, student support, and public-private partnerships. We do this to adapt to the needs of the 21st century. My goal as system president is to put each campus and ultimately the system in a position to succeed. As strategic priorities crystallize, the presidents and I will be sure to share them publicly in a way that gains people's feedback and input. Again, we are all on the same team. We are not going to overcome the myriad of challenges that lie ahead if we do not work together. Another priority for the system is at the community colleges. In spring 2022, we will submit our application to NETCHI, our accrediting body, for a substantive change to receive accreditation as a single institution, CT State Community College. Thank you to the many faculty and staff who have engaged in this process. It is a great deal of work, and we see you and appreciate you. CT State will be easier to access and navigate. The college will continue to be affordable and effective as a launching pad for personal, academic, and professional growth, while also supporting our state's workforce needs. The college will increase equity and improve academic outcomes and bring us closer to financial stability. We have all the pieces. We can do this. And when we do, we will all benefit and be proud. As I conclude today's address, I want to thank two key members of the CSCU family, Dr. Jane Gates, System Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs, and Dr. David Levinson, Interim President of CT State Community College. As I mentioned in an email to the system, Dr. Gates and Dr. Levinson will both be retiring in December. CSCU is stronger because of their contributions, and I congratulate them on their well-deserved retirements. Dr. Kenneth Klitschnick will step in as Interim System Provost, and Dr. Michael Rook will serve as Interim President for CT State. I will also note that Dr. Kimberly James has been named Interim Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at CT State. This year we will conduct national searches for all three positions, System Provost, CT State President, and VP for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. In closing, let me thank our Board of Regents for their dedication and support. It has been my great pleasure meeting with each of you this summer to share our goals for CSCU. Thank you to all of our campus presidents, regional presidents, and CEOs for your bold and steadfast leadership during these extraordinary times. My heartfelt thanks to those at the System Office who have worked tirelessly on behalf of our campuses, and thank you to our friends and advocates in the state legislature, in Congress, and across all of our CSCU communities for your commitment to helping us succeed. Your work on our behalf is often unseen and unheard, but you give countless hours and care deeply and passionately about our system and our state, and CSCU could not succeed without you. Of course, I have to thank Governor Ned Lamont and his administration for recognizing that CSCU is a pillar of the state and part of the engine of social and economic development that drives Connecticut to flourish and thrive. Thank you, Governor, for believing in us and helping us each and every day. Last but not least, I have to thank you, our students, staff, faculty, and administrators. The work you do is hard, but it is noble work. You are affecting lives and communities every day. Because of you, we will continue to innovate in our classrooms, help our students, and shape the 21st century workforce and society. Because of you, we will continue to educate Connecticut and help folks get good jobs and stay in Connecticut to raise their families and live their lives. Because of you, we can and will create a new system-wide value proposition that will bolster and even redefine the meaning and impact of public higher education. What a daunting task, yes, but what a thrill to be able to take on this once-in-a-lifetime challenge. It is one that I relish, knowing that there is nothing we cannot achieve together. I wish you health, happiness, and prosperity this semester and beyond. Thank you again for your time, and I hope to see you and so many of you very soon.